What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super video. More news about Set 10 has been leaked. I do not believe these leaks are meant to be intentional, especially with Set 9 still not only having not been released, but not even been fully revealed yet. But I wanted to go ahead and share this information with you guys anyways, because it looks like the game is going to be having some groundbreaking changes that who knows what it could do, how it can affect the way the game is played, the formats, the meta. It sounds like it's a lot of stuff being thrown at us all at once with all these changes, and it like the information just speaks for itself. You'll just have to see it. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. This is the image that was leaked earlier. I believe it was by a distributor. So, again, this is information we were not supposed to get, especially not this early. This is the whole image. It's just this one picture right here. Of course, we're going to break it down so that we can go over each part individually. So the first part says, June 2020, the Dragon Ball Super card game enters a whole new series. The commemorable Series 10 will be powered up into Unison Warrior Series. Kind of a little bad grammar there, but, I mean, we understand there's a language issue. Unison Warriors are powerful allies you can summon to fight alongside your leader, and they've emerged from every dimension. Goku and Bardock, Goku and Goku Black, and many more. You can determine the ultimate dream pairing of warriors. Many characters will make their Dragon Ball Super card game debut. Amazing new strategies will emerge, with Unison Warriors set to power up both new and old leaders. Players will love exploring new combinations and unlocking the full potential power of previously released sets. So, this support, these new Unison cards, are supposed to back up older support in the game. Which I really respect and appreciate the fact that they are going back and still giving new support to older archetypes, whether it be leaders or just the support cards in general, because a lot of us do not want a rotation. We want to be able to play with our favorite characters, our favorite decks, and being able to improve upon them is what makes this game fun. I've played other games where, like Pokemon, where they have a constant rotation, and then when your stuff's rotated out, and there's not really anything you want to play, you lose interest in the game, and eventually you'll stop playing, which is what happened with me with the Pokemon TCG, and I don't want to have this happen with this game. So, I don't really know exactly how the Unison Warrior thing is going to work. Goku and Bardock, that seems kind of cool. Goku and Goku Black seems a little more awkward just because you know they're not going to be fighting together, but hey. Now, I am wondering if there's going to be any restrictions to this, like you have to have a blue leader to use this one, or if it's just you can just use whichever of these Unison cards with whichever leaders. How they're going to function, if they'll function as a separate card that can be attacked or that can attack, if they'll be like Planeswalkers in Magic the Gathering and just be solely support cards that do different effects depending on different circumstances, that we'll have to wait and see as more information is revealed. The second part of the image has new points of the Unison Warriors series. Main changes for the series are a new type of card, the Unison card. It says, for the first time in DBSCG history, a new card type makes its debut. A second leader card will turn the tide of battle. These cards are easy for beginners to play. Depending on how familiar they are with TCG games, that might be a bit of a stretch to make that kind of claim. But what I'm wondering is, since they count as a second leader, are they going to have to awaken? Like, are they going to have their own awakening? Are they going to have two different sides to the card? Or are they just going to keep it one-sided as, like, a support character? Increasing the maximum deck size is another change they'll be making. This is probably the biggest change we're going to have that's going to throw so many people off. The number of cards allowed in each deck will be increased from 51 cards to 61 cards per deck. That's including the leader, so 50 to 60. Players have a wider choice for deck strategies. Now, I've already gotten confirmation via head judges from Bandai themselves that this is not going to be it's not going to be, well, your deck is set to 60 now. You can play 50 to 60 cards. That's still a big change for the game because now instead of you going, well, shit, I can run 4 of all these cards, but then I have to find something I'm running 2 of. Or if you were like me and you were running Unyielding Spirit Trunks, you had to find a 1 of to go with that 1 of. Or you can do some combinations of 3, 3, and whatever. But now, if you really had trouble with that, since 4 goes into 60 evenly, you don't have to worry about that. You can just have 15 cards, 4 of each, and have a simpler time at deck building. Is there an upside to having 60 cards? Yes, you can have a few more cards you didn't have room for. The downside is you're not going to see the cards you need as often. However, like, it's, gives you a few more cards your opponent has to mill if you're playing against Janemba or if you're playing against the new cooler support in set 9. It also gives you a little bit more time if you're playing a deck like the new Majin Buu stuff, that you're drawing 5 cards every turn, you're going through your shit, and, you might go through your deck too fast. This might help with that a little bit. It's way too early to even begin to tell how these changes are going to impact the game. The next piece of information is by far my favorite: rarity and pull rate improvements. The amount of card rarities, pull rates, and card foiling improved. All cards can be used as usual. Thank you. I mean, really, it took too long, but I understand Bandai probably had, sets ahead of time that they probably, set 10 is probably already fucking done and over with. They probably already got it done, and they're just, kind of working out the final kinks. If that, they may already be completely done with it, as we've seen in the past where we've been covering a set and they're already like, hey, here's this information on this. Like, fucking slow down, stop. Pull rates being improved, rarities, whatever. Like, we don't need that many rares. We don't need that many super rares. Like, it's cool and all, but if you have to buy a damn case to get a playset of all the cards in the set, that's a load of bullshit. You should not have to pay $700-800 just to have all the cards. If you're, and SPRs and secret rares, that doesn't count. But to have a full playset of all the rares and super rares just to play the game, to play the decks, like, that's a bit absurd, and that's why there are so many rares and super rares from set 8 that are still so expensive for just what they are. So really happy to hear about these changes. They then go on to list the main sale points for set 10. They're releasing 3 starter decks for the first time. We went over this in a previous video discussing who the potential characters could be. They say 3 starter decks at a lower price point to commemorate the new series launch. The starter decks are normally like, $10 to $12 anyway, so how much cheaper are they going to be? Blue deck for energy control, green deck for destructions, black deck for drop control. So I was right. The white box was for a black deck. Okay, cool. Players can select their favorite deck type by color or character. We do that anyways. All sets are built upon their theme color and easy for beginners to start. So I guess these are trying to make starter decks easier for a player to just pick up, play that, and, be able to play in locals maybe. They're still probably going to make it to where you have to have at least 2 of the starter decks. I think it's at least 2 to get a playset of the starter deck promos that are in the deck. They also say new card type, Unison card debut, blah blah blah. Played from the hand like a second leader card. This card has powerful skills and will be sure to turn the tide of battle. Summon a mighty warrior from another dimension and fight with your 2 leaders. So, okay, so it somewhat answers my question. So it does kind of count as a second leader, but you play it from your hand. So it's in your main deck. So now that leaves the question of, can you run more than one Unison card? That we probably, unless more information gets leaked, we probably won't find that out until closer to June. So that's going to leave a lot of speculation, a lot of time for us to try and figure it out. But it could be. I don't know. Because if it counts as like a leader card, are you only allowed to run 1 in a deck? Can you run more than 1 in a deck, but you can only have 1 out at a time? Can you have more than 1 out at a time? If it counts as like a leader, I mean, obviously your opponent can choose it with abilities, but can they attack it like a leader? If they attack it, Are they doing damage like they would if they attacked your leader, or are they going to try and kill it like if they were attacking a battle card? See, that until we get more information on these Unison cards, there's just so many different things that we don't know about it. We can speculate all day, but without that information, it's impossible to know how these new cards are going to affect the way the game is played. They also say there's a super rare card in every display box. As a promotion for the first Unison Warriors series, each display box features one random SR card from the universe, or from the Unison Warriors series. Fuck. Okay. So now what I'm wondering there is, it says one random SR. So is it that each box comes with a random super rare in addition to a super rare from the box? Wait, no, hold on. A box comes with multiple super rares anyways. What the fuck are we talking about? So what I'm guessing, or what I'm thinking, just by the wording and kind of the way the little image on the right, is that each box comes with a random super rare in addition to, you know, all the cards in the packs. Similar to how we had the Godly Aptitude Super Saiyan God Son Goku in the last set. He was, you know, this kind of cool, I mean, I guess he was more foil-wise, he's more akin to like an SPR, but he wasn't really an SPR. He was, I don't know if you'd count that as a super rare or a promo or what have you, but I'm guessing it'll kind of be similar to that, except instead of it being its own unique promo, it'll just be a random super rare from the set. That could be really cool. That could be one of the things they're talking about with increasing the pull rates. I hope that's not the only way they're planning on fixing the pull rate issue, but it's better than nothing. It also says, new product, the Premium Pack Set. We discussed that before. Premium Pack Set contains 4 booster packs of the series and 2 new promotional cards for the price of 4 booster packs. So, I don't like that. So, a Premium Pack Set is basically 4 packs of Set 10 plus 2 promo cards. So you're paying the same price as if you bought 4 packs individually. You're just getting those 2 additional cards. How many promos are going to be in this? Because didn't we already have something like that with the special pack before? It was like 3 or 4 packs, and then you got, you know, the one promo. Like Union Force. We had that Divine Beam Fusamasu. So is this going to be like that? And it just comes with 2 promos, there's 2 different promos, or are there going to be multiple types of promos, and it'll just be 2 random promos thrown in? Because if that's the case, I mean, I guess what you're trying to do is drive sales, but at the same time, you're going to piss us off, because then it's just more RNG added to what already, a game that already had terrible pull rates in RNG to begin with. So, I don't really know how I feel about that one. Then they go on to talk about new pre-release events. It says, buy 6 Series 10 booster packs during the pre-release period and to receive prizes and participation in the pre-release event. So participation prizes are 1 reboot leader, a normal version, times 1 card, a new Unison card, a normal version, times 1 card, and a pre-release pack. Each pre-release pack has 2 pre-release stamped series cards. So we already get those. But now you'll get a reboot leader and a new Unison card. Now, this could be a big thing. Are they doing another set of reboot leaders? Is this going to be a thing where they're giving us new reboot leaders, or are they giving us one of the 5 reboot leaders that we're getting in set 9? That's a whole other set of speculation, because we don't even know what these leaders do yet. Then the Unison card. Now, there's another thing. Is that Unison card a card that comes in the set? Or is it a special promo that's for participation? Because if that's the case, what about the promo, the reboot leader? Is it going to be like just a one-of and everybody gets this new leader for participating? Or is it a random thing? Or is it you just get one that's already existed? I hate stuff like this because there's no way to know. Because it's so early, and we're not supposed to have this information anyways. So, again, we're just left to speculation, but there's so much to speculate on. And, having new stuff like this, new announcements for new stuff that we're getting that they're giving us, it's exciting, is really. Top prizes include a Reboot Leader foil version and a new Unison card foil version. That's cool too. It doesn't say what the top prizing is. I guess it's gonna depend on the pre-release event. That maybe depends on how much stuff they get sent or attendance. Who knows? But again, is that gonna be a new leader, or is it going to be a one of the reboot leaders from set 9, or if they give us more reboots in set 10? Also, I like how the participation reboot leader is a normal card. The top prize reboot leader says it's foil, but if I'm not mistaken, the reboot leaders in set 9 should all be foil, since they are taking the place of like campaign rares, because we're gonna have the 5 reboot leaders and the 5 like attack extra cards. So I don't, if they already come foil, why would you get a not foil version unless it's a different type of foiling? There's so much we don't know, and I could literally sit and speculate on this shit for days. Then lastly, we have a close-up of one of these Unison warriors from the original image. It's Elite Bloodline Cooler. I'm happy to see more cooler stuff. I'm happy to see the Ultimate Final Cooler. Now the cards kind of interesting, and I'm guessing they've probably done a lot of this stuff to keep. I mean, obviously leaks happen, but if you remember way back when we were doing reveals for like set 3 and 4, Bandai didn't blank out the energy cost. They didn't blank out the combo power, the battle power, the abilities. So we were able to pick apart and get some really good information early on. Now they've been blanking out most of the stuff, and on this one, the card cost is an X, which makes me wonder: do we have to pay any energy cost to play it, or is there like an ability and activate main we have to trigger to be able to play these? Another thing is, are these going to be susceptible to counterplays? So if it's like, oh, I play this, and then he's got 20,000 power. Oh, denial of hope. Does he just die? Or are these immune to, like, counterplays? Are they even going to count as extra cards? Because they're technically like a second leader. Like, there's a lot of questions, and there's really no way to effectively answer them without having more information on them. We also see here, like, this one says it has 5 zeros for its attack power. That's probably inaccurate as shit. So it's probably at least 10 to 15. Maybe more. Some of them might have more, some might have less. It also has the 3 different things on the side. So it looks like it works almost exactly like a Planeswalker in Magic the Gathering. If you guys haven't played Magic the Gathering, then I would just Google Planeswalker, Planeswalker, because it'd be so much clearer for you to look up what a Planeswalker is and for me to try and explain it, especially since it's been about probably going on like 11 years since I played Magic the Gathering last, so it would help you understand a little bit more how these cards work. But that's pretty much the vibe I'm getting from this. And again, without knowing if we can have more than one, if it functions more as a leader, a battle card, if it's susceptible, like, we can sit and speculate and theorize all day and all night, but in the end, that's really all it is just speculation. For now, we can do nothing about these without more information from Bandai, from official reveals, or even from more leaks like this one. I will say that since we now know, not really so much that we know about these, because without knowing if we can run more than one or how they work, we can't really kind of get in the mindset to start preparing for that. However, we can start getting in the mindset of increasing the deck limit from 50 to 60 cards. We can also play test it to see if some decks do better with more cards, some do better with less. If you're, worried about mill decks, or if mill decks become as prevalent as they were, Janemba was a pain in the ass in a lot of events, and then this new cooler stuff looks like it's going to be even worse, then maybe the extra card limit would be a good thing. But we've got plenty of time to try it out if we want to in our free time. So that is one thing we can take away from this. So that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video. A lot of information for us to consume without having a lot of information to really make an intelligent opinion about any of it. And like I said, this is going to get a lot of our brains going, going to get those gears churning, but we can't really do a whole lot with just the little bit of information we have. If you guys end up testing out the new card limit, though, the new deck size, let me know how it goes. Let me know what your matchups were. You can comment here on the YouTube. You can message me on the Shadowrun Gaming page. You can hit me up on Twitter. Any of those works. But I would love to hear how your new testing goes with what decks do better with more cards, which do better against decks that, whether you had more or had less, or if the opponent had more. Just anything like that at all. Anything that we can, gather information on earlier, the sooner the better, because otherwise we're going into this big change having really no testing and no prior information. But since we do know about this so early on, we can be ready by the time set 10 comes out. And we'll have to figure out, which cards and which decks in set 10 benefit from having 50 to 60 cards, but we'll have a better idea, and we'll have a much greater understanding of how to play the game with these new changes. With that, though, we're going to go ahead and get the freak out of here, and we'll see you guys in the next video.